If you really want to see what your friendships are made of, start treating people the way they treat you. Now, this is not going to be an easy thing because it's going to expose some things that you were not aware of. It's also going to expose the person that you've been in a friendship, in a relationship, in whatever connection you have with them as well. Be prepared. Be prepared means many things, but number one, be prepared to sit back. A lot of times as a people pleaser, we find ourselves leaning into people, leaning into relationships, leaning into the conversation, leaning into all the things, never sitting back and listening and pausing, really taking a full assessment of what's going on. We're always engaged, enthralled. We have to stop doing that because when you're always this close to the picture, you don't see the details. You don't see what's happening. You don't see all the characters. You don't see anything that's behind the scenes. All you see is what's right in front of you. What I'm challenging you to do is step back in your relationships, emotionally, mentally, and all the other alleles, and really allies. I want you to step back and I really want you to think about all of the things that you are taking from people, not wondering if they would take it back from you. When you mirror someone in a relationship, you're giving them an opportunity to see who you see when they present themselves in a relationship. Now, if they're treating you well, this should be great. However, if they're giving you and you start giving up the bare minimum, you about to meet a whole different person in this relationship. So I hope that you're prepared to see that. And also what you're going to see by stepping back in the relationship and only offering to the person what they give you is an opportunity to see how they see you. We give so much grace as people pleasers. We just think they're talking like that because they're having a bad day. They don't know how to show affection because they never had affection when they was a kid. They're selfish because nobody ever gave them anything. They had to work so hard for everything they get. Girl, boy, friend, dog, squirrel, stop playing. We're really getting serious about becoming former people pleasers because behind all of the people pleasing is somebody who needs to rise to the top. They need to emerge. That authentic version of yourself needs to come to the top because it is only in that space that you can start to live a life that you really, really want to live. So start treating people the way they treat you. If they don't call, you don't call. If they don't offer, you don't offer. If they're not supporting, you don't support. If they support, you support. If they call, you call. If they love, you love. This is just give yourself a time frame because this might become emotionally overwhelming to you because you'll start to feel the anxiety. This relationship, wait, we didn't talk for a week. Nobody texted because you didn't text first. Nobody called because you didn't call first. I want you to really start to see yourself in the relationships the way the people see you so that you'll know effort or how much effort to give and how much effort to take away. Because we're done bending over backwards. We're done being the one that answers the call every time people call. It is over. That's over. And then in November, we're going to talk about that emotional bridging you've been doing in relationships that really would have been over had you stepped back in the first place. And I'm going to I'm going to say this. Everybody is not going to be ready for the changes that come with this. You can go back a few videos and I talked about how things are going to change when you start to change. But I'm telling you, when you start to be your authentic self, the changes that are going to come is going to be worth all of this work because everyone deserves reciprocal relationships. They deserve relationships where there is balance. You don't always have to lean and give and sacrifice and support. Continue to be there, be drained, and have nothing else to look forward to. You deserve to know that if our relationship is reciprocated, I'm not going to feel the guilt of not calling you because at some point I knew something bad was happening. I couldn't get to you, but I had something bad. Like, it's too much. All the emotional acrobatics that come with being a people pleaser is aging the hell out of you. I talked to someone just a couple days ago, and sis was mad. All the anger, all in her throat area. But I read the Four Agreements, and I know that when people present themselves that way to you, it is not about you. So don't take it personally. As she continued to be angry, I kept my tone where it was. I was not matching energy. It was no need. I understood that whatever she was going through had nothing to do with me. So eventually, she started getting emotional because I did not meet her energy. She tried to get smart. She tried to say things out of the way. I just went back to the business because we were dealing with business. As we continued to have our conversation, I asked her one question: what's wrong? Emotionally exploded. She let everything out. She let it all out, and I'm glad that she did, because it got her to open up about what was really bothering her. That's essentially why people pleasing is not necessary. Had I started people pleasing when I saw that or heard that she was upset, I would have prevented that entire moment from happening. In an alternate universe where I was a people pleaser, if I had heard her being upset in a business situation, I'd have been more into, I don't understand why you're upset, but this and that, but I could do this for you, and I could do that for you. And I would have started jumping and jiving and all that other nonsense to try to make her happy. I would have been leaning in. But because I was leaning, I was sitting back and I was listening and I was observing. And I could see the entire picture. Anger is nothing but a mask for something that you don't want to explain. Most people show anger first because you don't have to explain to somebody when you're angry. They can see it, they can hear it, they can feel it. But when you're emotional and you're sad and you're scared, you're using anger as a mask, that requires explanation. But when you're a people pleaser, you're leaning in, you don't allow people to explain that to you. You're too busy trying to prop them up, trying to fix them. You got to stop doing that.